What's going on, guys? I'm Alex of Tech. How you doing? If you couldn't tell from the tone of my voice, I'm really excited right now because we have a Chromebook, and I'm always excited to talk about Chromebooks, but today I'm especially excited because we have the mother of all Chromebooks, at least for this year, and that is this, the Google Pixel Slate, and of course its folio keyboard. We just got it in today. We're going to unbox this and take a quick look at it right now. So we're starting to get a feel for Google hardware and how they package things now, and we're getting accustomed to the look and feel. This is very similar to the Pixelbook packaging last year, very simple and minimalistic, very clean. They took a page out of Apple's book and made these experiences very, very nice. And I guess this blue is starting to become like a staple too. Every single one of their laptops have had this blue back. And we have the Core M3 model. This is basically the second lowest tier. It has 8 GB of RAM, which is good, and 64 GB solid state drive for storage. It runs Chrome OS, which is, of course, why we purchased this device. Let's open this thing up. Just quickly talking about some of the specs of this particular lineup. The starting Pixelbook is about $600, and that runs a Celeron processor. And Celeron processors have always been very friendly with Chromebooks. It plays really nicely with Chromebooks, but not for that price. So I've always, when I considered purchasing the Pixel Slate, I was never going to get that one. So I went with the tier higher, which made more sense to me. And here we go. Here is the Pixel Slate. I'm going to lift this panel up, and there you go. That is the Pixel Slate in its glory. We got the information here. Once again, very standard Google-like. Warranty guide. Put this aside. Of course, you can't open this, just like last year. Packaging is almost exactly the same as the Google Pixelbook from last year. We do have a 3.5mm headphone adapter to USB-C because there is no headphone jack here. And we also have our USB-C to C, which is a standard Google thing. So this is also a USB-C brick. Some of you guys don't like that and wish that this was A to C, but we're not immigrating to everything being C to C. So before we get that Slate out of the wrapping, let's take a look at the Pixel Slate keyboard. This is an expensive keyboard for sure. It's about $200. And that's another thing that I was not too happy about when I was watching the Google event. I was kind of hoping that this would be cheaper or even included, but of course my hopes were dashed, and I guess I was too big of an optimist there. And the Pixel Slate keyboard is also in a terrific looking clean box. Here we go. Let's lift this up. It's the keyboard there. So you don't really even need to do anything. You just snap it into place and it'll take care of it. Oh, the magnets are pretty strong. Look at that. That's some pretty strong magnets, but we'll take a closer look at this. And that's all this box really has. It's a pretty nice box for this folio keyboard. Woo, look at this thing right here. It's beautiful. I have to say, this is a very unique looking slate. You're not going to see a tablet that looks just like this out there. You got that Google logo there with that big fat G that we've come accustomed to seeing. We got that camera in the back, which, guys, nobody uses tablet cameras. Really, you shouldn't be using a tablet camera, especially with smartphones nowadays being so good. On the front side, we do have that front-facing camera as well on that top there. I'm going to fold it down a little bit like that. And then we have dual front-facing speakers, which is always a good sign to have on a big tablet like this. On this side, we have our volume rocker, very small volume rocker on top here. Clean on this side, we have one USB-C port on each side here on the very bottom. And then we have our magnetic pin connector that will show off once we throw it onto this. But the Slate itself is not too heavy. It's a pretty decent weight, but it does feel hefty. It does feel like it's built solidly. It flexes a little bit, but yeah, this does feel like it's built quite well, quite sturdy. So let's actually try it on this keyboard here. So this keyboard, this folio keyboard, let's just take a quick look at the keys. So the keys are rounded, which was a change, a big change from previous Chromebooks that Google has made. And they said it's supposed to be more accurate for people to type on. Actually, that might be true. I do have a really cool keyboard, the ASIO keyboard that has rounded keys, and I do really enjoy typing on it. So what Google said there might be true. There's that magnetic pins here for that particular snap-on, and we have a big trackpad. Already, though, this does not feel like the Pixelbook one. The Pixelbook has a very large and very responsive trackpad. This does feels a little cheaper than last year's Pixelbook. So we'll have to see about that. Of course, these are different types of devices. Let's snap this into place. Ooh, very strong magnets. Folio, fold it into place like that. Basically like your iPads, like your, yeah, basically like your iPads. I was gonna say like the Surfaces, but the Surfaces has its own kickstand, which I don't like as well, but I don't like folio ones as well either. You know what I really do like? I'll show you guys in a bit. So immediately the keyboard is working, trackpad is working. So once you plug it in, it basically works. You detach it and it takes it off. You don't need to pair it. That's the great thing about this. You don't need to do anything. It's already working right off the bat. You just plug it in and the trackpad, everything is connected. Going back to what I was saying before, I don't like folio keyboards, right? I'm gonna give this one a shot. But the reason I say I don't like folio keyboards and I don't like the kickstand is because there was a better option out there that I really did like, and that's this thing here. This was also made by Google. This was their Android tablet, the Pixel C, and basically one of their first Pixel devices other than the Chromebook Pixel. And as you can see here, this one is a whole slab of aluminum, kind of like the Pixel Slate. So this predecessor I've always appreciated too with the light bar. But this piece here is all magnet, snaps on. It's just beautiful, look at that. This is a great mechanic here. So as you can see, the Pixel C can go up and down just like that in one nice fluid movement. This, however, can't really do that. You gotta use the, take this off, readjust it like that. That's the problem with these folios and also that kickstand that the Surfaces use. But we'll do a separate video talking about these comparisons and the evolution here. But I really do like the Pixel C. It's one of my favorites. But back to this. So this power button here is also a fingerprint scanner. You can just simply tap on it. It reminds me a lot of the old Sony fingerprint scanners. So Sony used to have a power embedded fingerprint scanner as well. They changed that recently, but has that white accent. I do like that white accent too. All right, testing out the fingerprint scanner. I'm at the lock screen right now. Press your finger there. Nice and smooth, nice and fast. Unlocks the screen just like that. So one thing I've noticed that I might not like already aesthetically or my personal preference is, as you can see, this is your traditional Chrome OS dock, your traditional screen, right? We have all the things you're used to on Chrome OS. It's a little redesigned due to the newer version of it. Actually, let's double check what version we're on right out of the box here. So let's go to settings. And about Chrome OS, we are running 71.0.3578.57. So this is the official build that we're using here. So for this particular one, this is the dock, right? You slide up and you have your app docks. You can press that. You can also drag up. Does the same thing. Here's your settings menus. On the right, you can also press on the keyboard here, on this button on your keyboard, to bring it up. So this is all fine and dandy, and I like it. I like how it looks. It reminds you a lot of like Mac OS and the Windows space. But what I don't like is when you take it out into tablet mode, your screen is filtered with apps. It's like we're in an app drawer nonstop, and I don't think you can get rid of this. You can't just make it a blank screen like you could in the past. So this is a Chrome OS thing now, where when you're in tablet mode, it takes it off of the dock mode, and you just automatically have all your apps just plastered on here and stuck on here. You can't retreat it. I don't like that. I like seeing my wallpaper. One thing about iOS that I never liked is that you have all your apps filtered there. There is no app dock, so you can't really customize your screen as you would like it to. And I don't like this change about Chrome OS here. I did also see this on the developer channel for the Acer Chromebook Tab 10 as well. But at the same time, like I said, there was no dock mode because that had no native keyboard for me to dock it in. So I did not see it switching over like that. So yeah, I mean, that's just a minor thing, but that deters me a lot from using it in tablet mode if that's the case. I do not like having my home screen bloodied up like that with a bunch of apps. I'd rather just swipe up and bring it. That's why I like Android more than iOS as a preference. So I never really liked that. So that's the first thing I've noticed there. When you swipe from the top, nothing happens. So if you're used to Android tablets, well, that's not how it works here. You got to tap on the bottom for our settings here and our quick settings like you see there. Pretty nice, pretty standard, new Chrome OS stuff. It's ever changing. One thing Google does really well is that they update this really well. They update Chrome OS all the time. Very quick, very easy, boots up really fast, resets really quickly. That's one thing I love about Chrome OS. And let's take a look at the Google Play Store. So we do have the Google Play Store here, the full-blown Play Store. It seems very responsive. This is Core M3. We've used Core M3s on Chromebooks in the past, and they've been decent performers. I've had some games not work well with Intel processors, so we're going to test that out, of course, in the near future. So we're going to download more games and play with it a bit. Let's just open a Chrome tab really quick, and let's open YouTube, and let's go to our recent apps. So you can use your keyboard shortcuts, make it a full screen, very standard things. We have a refresh button here. Let's switch over to Chrome. Refresh button there, works. Got a back button as well. Very standard Chrome OS. We also have arrow keys here. So they are decent. Left and right is bigger than up and down. They work for me. The backspace button is a decent size. That's a problem I had with some Chromebooks a couple years ago. Like the Chromebook Plus has a really small one. So actually Samsung fixed that on the version 2 as well. They made it a bigger size. So the keys actually are all decent size. This is a decent sized keyboard. We do have that media control button here, volume, very standard stuff. And if you always don't just want to drag up on the keyboard, you also have this shortcut key button. So shortcuts are there. We have all the shortcuts we need. In terms of this trackpad, it's very responsive. It seems responsive. It does feel cheaper. It doesn't feel as premium as the one on the Pixelbook. Let's check out the speakers really quick. I haven't seen the speakers yet. Security system, and of course our Philips Hue smart bulbs. But recently we were sent by ASRock a new router. So this is a 12.3-inch 3000 by 2000 LCD display. And this, of course, is a touchscreen that works with the Pixel Pen. I don't have the Pixel Pen, and I don't have it ordered yet. I don't think I'm going to get one, but we'll see. But it does work with the Pixel Pen, the same one last year and the one this year. And the display is a 293 ppi panel, so that number is pretty good for a 12.3-inch display. So yeah, this is a very high-resolution display. So far, I can't see too many pixels on this 1080p video here. It is a 12-inch display, so not the most compact of pixels, but it does seem sharp, and the colors are pretty nice. Let's turn up the brightness as well. Yeah, brightness gets relatively good. Goes pretty dark too. So yeah, the range is pretty good. The range is actually really good. viewing angles are very solid as well. So this is a pretty decent viewing experience, and you better have that when you charge, this is like a $700 tablet just by itself. And with the keyboard, it's altogether, this is close to $1,000, everything together. So yeah, this better be a great experience, viewing experience that is, and that I have to say it is, with the dual front-facing speakers as well. So at least that we have that. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and come back in a couple of weeks for our full review of the Pixel Slate. Of course, I'm going to go in depth, talk about everything you need to know. But in the meantime, to get a taste of that, check out our Pixelbook review from last year. That was one of our most popular videos, and I'll have the link in the description below. But I think even without using this yet, I can safely say that this is probably not a Chromebook for most people. In fact, it's probably not a Chromebook anybody should really buy. However, a lot of people said the same thing about the Pixelbook last year, and a lot has changed in a year. Perception has drastically changed for that. A lot of it has to do with the price drop, you know, the $300 price drop on Black Friday. It was a big seller on Reddit, on Slick Deals. A lot of people, probably a lot of you might have purchased it this Black Friday on that heavy discount. So that whole buying a Chromebook for north of $500, which a lot of people used to be like, wow, what the heck are you thinking? You get the same thing for 200 bucks. I think that perception has changed drastically in these last couple of years. And this is another step forward that Google is trying to push. Whether it's a good one or bad one, that remains to be seen. But usually, as history repeats itself, this might be not as crazy as you think next year. Come this year, next Black Friday, maybe a lot more of you guys are going to have this in your hands, and you're going to be like, wow, okay, this is pretty nice. So, hey, you never know. Once again, I'm Alex with Tech. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in our full review of this very soon.
If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit the bell button below so that you don't miss a single video in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!